Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap pre-market morning leap. My name is Doug McKay. I'm founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Trading. Each morning we get together and go through my analysis of the structure of the market from the macro to the micro, and then set up our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. After that, starting at the RTH Open, this room is a live trade room, so I am doing real-time analysis of the markets and calling out trade recommendations. If you'd like to come and join us and find out more, please send an email to me, Doug McKay at quantumleaptrading@gmail.com. This email right here. And then I can give you the information on the room itself. But let's get going to our homework, and I'm going to get the disclaimer out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss, please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Low risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than this initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan and your own risk metrics. Okay, so let's just start with the basic. Let's just look where we are within the macro to the micro. You can see that, our trend on the monthly, we're losing slope and separation, so we are seeing some weakness now coming in on the monthly, but we have not closed below the 9 EMA. We're still holding above the 9 and the 20. So the trend is weakening, but it hasn't been violated. Going down to the weekly, though, you can see that now we have, last week closed below the 9 and the 20, and we gapped down again, and we went down and tested that 34.25 level. Our close on Friday was 2068.75. The half gap fill from the open of the Globex over the weekend is 2053, and we've already filled the half gap. We went up and had a high overnight at 2059.25. Anybody surprised that 2059.25 was our Globex high? That is our key line in the sand still. Actually, it shifted down slightly to 2058.75. But we do have weakness on the weekly. We do have a naked cross on the weekly, something you want to write down at 2089. Going down to the daily, you see the big gap down on the daily. We do have a start of a trend down on the daily. As long as we stay below that 59, I'm still expecting lower price discovery. We have a naked cross on the daily at 2097. You can call it 2097.75 on the daily. And then you can see we've got a start of a downtrend on the daily, and we're getting slope and separation. But we should come up and fill this technical gap that we've got on the daily. Just going down to the intraday to see if we're in any trends coming into the RTH session. We've got another naked cross on the 4-hour, 2066. Write that down. We're starting to get slope and separation to the downside. They tried to get back above the 9, got to that 59.25, rejected it. So we have not closed above the 9 yet. So we are getting the start of a downtrend on the 4-hour. Going down to the 30-minute, you can see that we had the strong move down with the gap, and then we slowly broke above. Now we have a naked cross on the 30-minute down here at 46.75. This is going to be a key target below us. If we get below 49, that's CLVN at 49, this is going to be a nice target. I'm sorry, what did I say? It was 46.75. And but we're starting a trend up, but we're seeing weakness and we're violating the trends. That's why I'm looking at, as this is a key level down here, this naked cross on the 30-minute. You're going to see one on the 15-minute as well. You've got this one down here. Although this was a little bit questionable because we created the cross, we came right back down on the next candle. But it is near a key level, that 45 area, but this one particularly has been closed. There is one that we just created just overnight, and that's at 2050 54.75. So got a lot of targets above and below us, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. Going down to the 5-minute, you can see that we had a nice strong trend developing, had a bit of a technical gap, came up, closed the gap, and now we're rejecting it. We've lost some separation, but we do have slope, so the trend is still to the downside right now. As I mentioned last night in the room, I am selling all rallies below 59. That's my trade plan for the day. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take a long, because I've got both my accounts open. So let's go take a look at the big picture. Excuse me, my voice. So we've been in this balance area for quite some time. We've now broken below the microcomposite value area low. That goes from the beginning of February till now. The value area low is 2058.75, right below that 2059 CLVN. Now the 5-day microcomposite VPOC is 57.50, but we still have this distribution zone down here between 59 and 36.75, really 26.35. This whole area is got a lot of undetermined fair value, a lot of bluntness right here. The big one below us right now is 45.25 and 42.25. 53.50 is going to be a level we're going to trade off of this morning, because if we get above that, then I'm looking for a move back up into this 57.50 and a retest of that 59 and the overnight high. But if we stay below this 53.50, then I think we're going to come and drift down towards this 45.25 and take out this microcomposite VPOC at 42.25. There's also a naked VPOC on the daily, and maybe come down and test that overnight low at 34. But I think we're going to get a big rotational day. We could get stuck in the wicks down here. This morning around this 51 with some downside, some downside bias on the rotation. So let's just take a look at the overnight and start moving our levels over. So far our overnight high is up at 59. 59.25. Our overnight low is down at 34.25. Pretty wide range overnight. One of the largest we've seen in a long time. But that's because of the gap down. And our overnight VPOC, which I don't think is going to shift, is right now at 51.75, right at that CHVM. And you can see we've got almost a F-shaped profile. You can look at it as a P shape. You've got this 53.75, the 54. This is the one I was saying I was going to use this morning. This is, we've got a bit of a double distribution up here with the LVM between at 53.75. So I'm going to be using that 53.75 to 54 area as a spot to look for responsive selling. Actually, it's really initiative selling, because we're below range and below value But if they break above that, then I'm looking for them to come up and take out this naked VPOC at 57.50 and the overnight high at 59. 59 is also going to be a trade level for me, but I'm going to be actually using 60. So watch to see how we come up, take out the overnight high, and see if they continue up. We got a good probability if we get above this 53, 54 area that we're going to come up and test the range low at least. So the target above the 60 area is going to be this 63.25, and this is actually, sorry, it's target. And then the next trade level is going to be at the value area low at 54, or 64, I should say. Because if we get in above 64, we've got the naked VPOC at 64.50. Our midpoint and our value area high, which is one of my main targets above right now, is this 66. It's also going to be a trade area because if we get above that, then we're going to be above value on Friday, and I'd be looking for a move up into this 69.50. 69.50 is the 2-day microcomposite VPOC when we were trying to hold a higher value after coming down. You can see we came down here, came down to this 51 area. The buyer stepped in and we tried to rotate up, but then we failed, came back down and tested again. And then we gapped up, tried to hold value, had trouble holding value, came back down, hit the midpoint of the of this particular candle, and then came back up and closed higher. And then these 2 days we had higher value accepted in around 69. So that 69 happens to be, right at the high from yesterday. So this is going to be a key area for us, is at that 69. Sorry, 69 up to 69.75. We've got a naked close up there at that 69.75. And then above there, the targets, first target above range and value is at 71 CHVN, with a little bit of resistance coming in at 74 and a quarter. And then above that, next big target above is 75.50. It's also a CHVN. It's a microcomposite VPOC at 2075.75. It's a naked VPOC at 2775.50. So this is the next big key target above. And then above that, we've got a range high at 77, but I'm going to be watching the 79.75. Because if we get above there, then I think you've got 81 and a quarter as your first target above. But I'd be looking for a move up into the FOMC. And then above that, we have the other half gap fill at 85.50. So there's lots up here in the 79 to 85 range if we can get above that 74 level. If we come up and accept value back up here around that 75.50, then I'd be looking for a move to test the upper side of that value, and then testing these levels all the way up into 80, 87, and 93 would be my extreme extended targets. 87.50 CHVN, and then 93. And there's just a little bit of resistance here at 89. 89.50. There's the value area low at 88.75. I'm going to use 89. And then the major magnet above is the microcomposite VPOC going back to the beginning of February, which is still up here at 93.50, 93.75. All right, so that's to the upside. To the downside, as long as we stay below this 54 area, our first target below is that 5150. That's our CHVN, and you've got the former microcomposite VPOC at 5175, and then just below it you have the 5-day value area low here at 50. I'm actually going to use 49, but it's going to be from 49 up through to 50. And then below 49, you've got our first major target below, which is 45.50, and secondary, the 42.25 microcomposite VPOC, which still is naked. And then a little bit of support coming in at 37.75. And then anything below 37.75, you got a great target into 34.25 our overnight low, with 30.25, 26.75. We've been through all these numbers, and then 24.75. And then the big magnet measured move down here at 19. And then there's below that, you've got a naked close at 15.25, and the big one below us, which is, and you might want to go through and start reviewing this time frame. Just going to bring this in so you can see it a little better. This time frame from October the 29th through to around February, beginning of February, and take a look at the days in here and look for profiling days. You've got the most traded price there at the 2011. I'm just going to bring this to the front so you can see it. So we're going to start trading in this area with the value area low down here at 87.50. Remember, our 100% measured move from that head and shoulder pattern is down at 1990, just near the value area low. And I've created a smaller microcomposite in here at with a naked microcomposite VPOC at 2002. Area 2002.50, and there's a naked close down there as well at 2001.50. So just go back and review this for a second. We're currently trading in the 52.50. I'm expecting a move down to this 51 and a test of this 49 sometime between now and the open, if not on the open. If we get above 54, look to get it along into the 57.50. If we hold below it, try to find spots to get short into this 49. Below 49, strong move down to 45.50 is expected, possibly even to 42.25. But I'm expecting a rotational day with some downside bias until we get above 54. And I'm still looking short, but there's some targets up here, so I'll take the longs up here, but I'll be short and heavy. Anything that is rejected off 59 upwards to 53 area. As long as we stay outside of yesterday's or Friday's range, I'm going to try to build a swing short position down towards that 2019-2011 area. All right, let me just take a quick look at the Keltner. You can see that that big target below us, the 45 area, starting to come into play here. The lower Keltner channel test will be 46.75 by the time we get there. You watch, it'll be 45.50. Our Keltner center line is basically sitting on our overnight VPOC, which is shifted now to 53. I'll have to change that. Above there, you can see a move to the upper Keltner channel is going to take us to that 59 level. And again, it's probably going to be 58.75 or less by the time we get there. So we still have some downside bias. This was a nice trade here. We could get a continuation move down here. Let's just look at it quickly. I'm going to take it from this point right here. The 61.8, you can see, takes us down into that 45.50, and 100% takes us down to 42. Kind of interesting, right? That those numbers are prominent on the volume profile as well as the fib extensions on a continuation move. All right, taking a quick look at gold. Come on. All right, so current balance right now is at 1164.20. This 1161.70 you could use as a trade area. It's just below the value area low here. If we break below it, look for them to come down into this 58 again, test this 55.80 range low. And if we break below that, I'm looking for that move lower into 46.90, 37.90, but the big one being this 11.28. If we hold the 61, looking for a rotation back up into this 64 where we're trading with continuation. First resistance going to come in at 67.90. And then if we break above that, I'm looking for a bigger move up into 72 and 77 with real resistance coming in up here at 79.50. And if we break above that, I'm looking for a move back up into that 87, 88 area. And then, the all-important 92.50. If we ever get back up there, I'm just being patient and trying to hold on to get that trade. So today is the official first day of the new live trade room. Hopefully we can make some money together. And if you're watching this video on YouTube or after the fact, please come join us. If you want more information, just send me an email at quantumleaptrading@gmail.com. As always, trade well, trade